Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something that honestly sounds a bit sci-fi, but it's happening right now. We're talking about the rise of AI-generated influencers.
Yeah.
And get this, some of these virtual stars, they're already pulling in millions. Seriously.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is a totally new frontier for, online influence, and it's moving incredibly fast.
It absolutely is. And for this deep dive, we're going to really unpack how they're managing that financial success. We'll look at their impact, which is growing fast, and crucially, let's say, the big questions they raise.
Questions about what exactly?
About authenticity, really, and audience trust. I mean, you just need to glance at a virtual star like Bloo, the virtual YouTuber.
Right, the animated avatar streams, but there's often a human voice actor behind it.
Exactly. It just shows how quickly this whole new kind of entertainment has grabbed hold.
Okay, let's dig into that.
Yeah.
We've all seen human influencers build these massive personal brands, sometimes even bigger than, traditional celebrities. But what's really wild now is seeing these AI influencers basically doing the same thing, maybe even faster. And sometimes, it seems, maybe at the expense of human creators. How are these, virtual personas making so much money?
Well, it's fascinating because they have this almost, you could say, unfair advantage.
Which is?
Infinite scalability and practically zero human overhead. Think about it. Unlike a person, an AI influencer can be, everywhere at once, taking tons of brand deals at the same time, running 24/7 across different time zones. They don't get tired. They don't need travel budgets or wardrobes.
Or deal with messy PR crises.
Exactly. And tools like Character 3. These are advanced AI programs. They can design photorealistic faces, handle complex animations, simulate body language. It makes bringing these virtual personalities to life much, much quicker and cheaper than old school animation.
Right. So lower cost, maximum potential for making money.
Precisely. Plus, they can crunch huge amounts of data to figure out what content might go viral, optimizing engagement in ways a human can't.
So if they're that efficient, that's scalable, what's that doing to the rest of the online influence world, to the human creators we follow? Are we looking at a total shift here?
I think we absolutely are, yeah. This isn't just a few quirky avatars anymore. It's actually reshaping how brands think about marketing, how talent agencies spot stars, even how platforms measure success.
How so for brands?
Well, for a brand, an AI influencer is predictable, highly controllable, consistent, and cost-effective.
Less risk.
Minimal risk, yeah. And a predictable return on investment. So we're seeing marketing money starting to shift, moving away from human talent sometimes towards these digital beings. It's pushing towards a more data-driven, optimized way of doing PR and engaging consumers.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me, and maybe a bit unsettling. If you have an AI person influencing what you buy, or maybe even your views on things, what does that do to how we see content, how we connect? What happens to trust when the influencer isn't actually a person?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It forces us, really, all of us, to think about trust. As these AI influencers get bigger, the whole idea of audience trust is changing, fundamentally.
How do you mean?
Well, think about it. The source of the influence isn't a human with feelings, experiences, flaws. It's an algorithm, a persona built purely for maximum engagement. How does that change your relationship with the content, with the brands they push?
It makes you question how much you value the human part of influence.
Exactly. It's this new landscape where telling the difference between a genuine connection and something engineered, it's getting tricky. It's a real challenge.
So wrapping this up, what did this all mean for you, our listener? We're seeing this incredibly fast shift. AI influencers aren't just some niche internet thing anymore. They're becoming a major disruptive force.
Definitely.
It's changing the digital economy, our relationship with media, everything.
Absolutely. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, it leaves you with a pretty compelling thought to chew on. As that line blurs, the line between real human connection and these AI-generated interactions, when it gets harder and harder to tell the difference, what does that actually mean for our relationships? With media, with brands, maybe even with the whole concept of what influence is.
A big question.
It is. And definitely something worth pondering as this tech keeps evolving at, breakneck speed.